welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And we are starting out November with, rather than touching on things like Pocahontas and doing some of the Native American stuff, I'm going to have enough sense to stay away from that mess because I am not qualified. And I have done Native American stories before. You can check out those. So instead, I'm going to focus on swans. So we're going to be looking at different stories that are close to looking at Swan Lake and some of the fairy tales involving swans. So the first one we are going to start off with is Princess of the Wild Swans. So and the author is Diane Zahler. Now this is a retelling of the Grimm's fairy tale Six Swans. So the basics of that fairy tale and this is you have a princess, she has six brothers, their stepmother comes along, she turns them into swans. And in order for her to stepmother turns her brothers into swans. In order for her to turn them back, she cannot speak until she finishes knitting 6 shirts for them. And I have the Grimm's fairy tale pull up. Must be, because I am familiar with this. See, looks like the story, they sewing 6 starflower shirts. So in this book and in the story that I'm familiar with, it's not starflower. It's I believe it's stinging nettle is what she has to do it. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Where on earth does it talk about this? But yeah, I'm pretty sure in this book she has to knit using nettle, which is a very thorny plant. So leave that where she went. I think if it talks about it, but okay, we'll get on there. But again, she has to knit these tails. So this story goes into this in a lot more detail, which is kind of what it does. So it is, so the first chapter is the beginning and who appeared. So this is where you meet our main character. What is her name anyway? And can I pronounce it? What is her name here? What is our main character's name? He's talking to her governess right now, so she's Muriel, of all things. So this is our princess's name. So she essentially, their father comes home. She's actually, in this story, she's one of those princesses like, I do not want to sit and learn to knit and to dance and be a wife. I'm bored. I want to go do what my brothers are doing. And her governess is like, yeah, no, you need to learn to yes, needle and thread. She's trying to learn how to do stitches, find stitches. So her father comes home, and then her father comes home with a stepmother. And that night, Muriel, whose bedroom is close to her father's, because I believe her mother, she's the youngest, and her mother died giving birth to her. And she's 13 here. So she hears the stepmother and her father arguing, and her stepmother's infuriated because he mentioned a daughter, not 6 sons. And so she would want her own sons to be heir. And if he already has 6 sons, that's not happening. She could marry off a daughter. That's not a problem. But she wants her own children to inherit. So she's infuriated with him. So what she does end up doing, she enchants her husband. And then she turns the boys into swans. And then she tells them they've gone off to school. So that's kind of how it begins. Let me just get out of this. And yes, I read it on my tablet, so, or on my phone, just because sometimes that's just kind of the way things work. So, and then the enchantment. So that's when her brothers disappear. Then she finds them as swans. And then shortly thereafter, her stepmother holds a ball and is trying to marry her off. Again, I believe she's 13. And even for royalty, even if they were betrothed, they did not get married at 8. They did not get married at 13. And they expressed, like, this is weird. My father normally doesn't want me at these things because I'm too young. But yeah, again, and then, so she's being, and then, yes, the task. So she reaches out to her friends, Liam and Rona, who are, Rona and her mother are essentially witches. They're magical people. So her sister wrote to Rona wrote to her mother, it's like, what the heck can we do? And it's like, how do we undo this enchantment? So, and so let's see. Yeah. So what she has to do is she can't speak again until she's finished. So, and she's telling this to her brothers in this. So, and she has to sew these shirts. And let me see. But yeah, I'm not seeing what. But again, so she has to sew these shirts for them. And she cannot speak for the entire time. Now, in the original story, I think she runs away and she's hiding in a tree. And she's doing this by herself. And a prince finds her and he brings her down. And I think before she marries him, she's able to save her brothers. Both stories, one of the big thing is she's not able to quite finish. So one of the sleeves isn't done. So one of her brothers continues to have a swan wing. And this is true for both tales. In this, she's still living at home. She just can't talk. And she has to be knitting these things. At one point in time, I do believe she runs away. She has to run away because her stepmother has figured out. Her governess is... her governess also suspects the queen is evil. Which she obviously is. And they have to... And she can read minds. So they have to flee. And then... yeah, they do have to escape. They do have to escape. And eventually, obviously, just like the original tale, she's able to save her brothers. And I'm not, I think I read this last night. Let me start. Yeah. Her stepmother finally found her. She's been hiding with other people. She refuses to endanger them. She saves her brothers. And I do believe stepmother dies. Yeah. So she turns into a monster, yeah. She turns into some... Yes, she can. Let me see. She's crazy. And yeah, I'm pretty sure she dies. As would... So yeah, she gives the... Yeah, she's enraged. She's invoking the fairies, and in this case, they're evil. She calls her brother, and she gives them the sweaters. And again, the last wing. Yeah, and there's a whole giant battle. And I do believe the evil one, yeah. And she's gone. So it's a very interesting tale. This is definitely for the older kids, because this is, how long is this? Let's see if I can, at least the ebook here. I can get to the body down there. Give me the end. There we go. Not about the publisher. There we go. Back of the ending. It is, at least the ebook is 223 pages. So this is really good if you're looking for like a more detailed version of the story. It is adventurous. There's some fighting. There's a lot of magic. It has a very strong female protagonist who is, again, she has to do stuff on her own. So I do recommend this book, particularly if you're looking into folklore, because it does expand on the Brothers Grimm's tale. It's done very, very well. It is, however, decently long. I personally enjoyed it. Again, I got through it partially skimming in one night, but that is me, and I am weird. And again, I have to get these views out while also mothering a child. In addition, we've been sick this week, so and it's Halloween week. I'm filming this literally on November 1st. So you guys should see this Monday. So if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. I should be doing a video on the Swan Lake Ballet. This is probably going to be something that I've viewed online, though I did believe I see it, but I did see it through Phoenix. So if you liked what you see, like and subscribe. I will see you next time.